Okay, so in this video we are going to learn how to find slope using just graphs. And just by looking at this line, we're going to figure out how to find our slope. So just by looking at this line here, notice that this is a positive line. How do I know it's a positive line? Well, I'm going to read it like I read a book, from left to right. So I notice that this is increasing, so that means it is positive. Let's look at this example here. Notice that there's a big difference between these two lines. Here we said it's going positive because it is increasing. Now let's look at this one. We have this one. Again, let's read it like we read a book. So from left to right. Notice that it starts here, but then it's going down, so it is decreasing. So the big difference, as you can notice here, this one is a negative because it's going down, it's decreasing, so it's going to be a negative slope. And then notice here it is increasing, so it's going to be a positive slope. So let's look at this first one right here. We're going to use a new technique. So if you want to, you can also take notes and really understand this new method that I am going to be teaching you. So let's look at our line. We said that it is increasing, and in order to find slope, we need points. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to select 2 points from our graph. I want to select this point right here and this point right here. So how do I know what is my pair here? What is my order pair? I go down, so my x is at 2. I make sure to write them down right up here. Actually, let's write them over here. We have 2, and then our y is at 3. So that's my point. This point I am at 4, and then at 6. Let's just go ahead and write all the points out, and then we'll go to this technique over here. Here, this point, I am at 6, at 9. Okay. We can't forget about our 0 here. 0, 0. We can put that one up here. That's where our graph line started. And we can put this one too. So this one is 8 at 12. Okay, so we have our points right there. Now, notice here, if you notice anything about these points, we're going by 2's on the x-axis. And on our y-axis, it looks like we're going by 3's. So that's something to notice as well. Now, for me to find my slope, I am going to pick 2 points from these set of points. Now, it doesn't matter which points you use or which points you pick. I want to pick this point and this point. So I picked 2 and 3, and then 6 and 9. So now what I'm going to do with those points, I'm simply just going to put them over here. So this is how I'm going to place them. I'm going to put them just like if you are putting them down like a pair. So here I have 2, 3. There I just have 2, 3. Here I have 6, 9. Here I just have simply 6, 9. So now here is the rule to this little technique to find our slope. You are going to bring down this set of numbers over here, and you're going to bring down this set of numbers over here. So this is how this looks like. Once you bring the numbers down, we are going to subtract. So we're basically just sliding these numbers down. So here we have 3, and remember what I said, we're going to subtract. Minus 9, and here we have 2 minus 6. Just like that. Anytime you bring down a number, you are going to subtract. It doesn't matter if a number is negative, you are still going to subtract. Now, I'm just simply going to simplify this and solve. 3 minus 9, well, 3 minus 9 gives me negative 6. Then I have 2 minus 6. That is going to give me a negative 4. Just like that. So now I have a negative 6 over a negative 4. I need to simplify this because I know that a negative divided by a negative is going to give me a positive. So before we even get to that, what number can I simplify these two by so I can simplify my fraction? Well, I know that 2 fits into 4 and 2 also fits into 6. So I'm going to divide these two numbers by 2, just like that. I'm going to bring this down over here because I have no more space. So now, what is 6 divided by 2? 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. And if we want to keep that negative, we can. So a negative 6 divided by a negative, a negative 6 divided by a positive 2 gives us a negative 3. Now, what is negative 4 divided by 2? That simply just gives us negative 2. Now, look at your signs here. Remember, if you divide a negative divided by a negative, that will always give us a positive. So that means that this little fraction will be 3 over 2. And that is how you find slope, using this little L technique. Now, I want to check if this is correct because I'm not so sure. So here's what I'm going to do. Previously, you have learned about rise over run. How does rise over run work? Well, let's go ahead and look at our graph. Let's start at point 0. Rise over run, meaning I'm going to rise, meaning I'm going to go up or down. Rising, you either go up or down. And run is always going to be on your x-axis. So rise will always be on your y-axis. And run will always be on your x-axis because you're either running left or right. In this case, we're going to be running right.